2.3 Nigeria Info. Sam Oracle Chinedu here. Well, straight to business. There is a lot to unpack, so many conversations to hold, and important ones as it affects us all. 1 year after the Supreme Court ruled that Nigeria's 774 local government areas must receive their allocations directly from the Federation account, the federal government continues to route funds through state governments, defying the Supreme Court's ruling. Now, despite the creation of an implementation committee and orders to the CBN to open individual accounts for local government areas, reports have shown that over 4.5 trillion naira has still been channeled through states between July 2024 and June 2025. Legal experts and labor unions blame state governors and the federal government for the delay. The Tinubu administration has asked top officials to resolve the bottlenecks. However, implementation remains stalled. So, if the system is going against itself because the judiciary is an arm of government, where does that leave us? My guest is a legal practitioner. He is Haya King. He is the Vice Chairman, Human Rights Committee with the NBA. He's a human rights advocate. And well, he's in position to explain what the law says and what it does not say. Welcome, Barrister Haya King. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you so much for having me.
Always a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. It's fine. It's good. I think today we have a sunny day.
Yes, indeed, we do.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday been rainy, and today is a little bit sunny.
Yeah, I'm particularly excited about that. I have personal reasons why, and I hope it continues for a bit. Now, Barrister King, do you think that democracy is the best system of government for Nigeria?
You didn't tell me you are coming with a question like that.
Well, we have to start somewhere before we get to where you know we are going. But we must start somewhere.
To be frank, speaking my mind, not the mind of any organization, my mind, Haya King's mind. The democracy we have had democracy is better than any other form of government in any time, any day in the world. Generally speaking,
yeah,
democracy is better where you have your say and majority will have their way better. But because you added in Nigeria,
yeah,
all over the world, democracy is better. You can speak. You go ahead and do what you want to do, but let me speak. Better. Democracy is better. Before they say, I said I like dictatorship or I like the military. But with what I have seen in Nigeria between 1999 and today, we have deteriorated. Our democracy has deteriorated. Even freedom of speech is gradually being gagged. In 1999, 2003, 4, 5, we talked without being molested or arrested. But now the government comes up with all manner of laws, all manner of acts to make sure they stop us from protesting, from talking, from all manner of things. Even the new laws, they say, cybercrime, this one, you talk like this. A lot of gag is being introduced by these goddamn politicians, to make sure people like us don't talk, you don't challenge them. You see everybody is jumping into one party now. Almost, it's worse. For me, democracy we have practiced in the last 12 years, from 2015, 14, 15, 12, 13 years now is worse than the worst military rule. It was an Abacha. Abacha that we were really talking. Yeah, it was.
Barrister King, Abacha was a dictatorship.
No. With what we have now, Abacha was better. I'm telling you, to be frank. Because by the time we talked, although we were arrested, shot at, locked up, but people still talked. What Abacha was doing was they come secretly and kill you in the night or accident or whatever. But this one is worse. We are getting worse. When we started, it was better. If you say the democracy in the past 15 years, 14 was okay, was getting better, but we suddenly started nose diving. We got to a certain height and we are going down. It's going down. It's essentially going down.
I know that the position I'm about to hold, for obvious reasons, right? And this conversation is not supposed to be Abacha versus Tinubu.
It's okay.
But you remember the circumstances under which Nadeco, right, tried to operate, and they did not do anything illegal.
Yeah.
Now, imagine the tension of that atmosphere and today. You can't compare both now.
Who said so?
You cannot compare both.
Who said so?
Well, the good thing is our own president was a major player.
He was a major. In fact, everything he fought against in Nadeko, that's the thing that is happening now. So what are you talking about? Under we call it democracy. What everything we fought in Nadeko is what is happening actually now. The same thing. The same thing.
Right
it's
now.
The same thing. So even worse.
Wait.
That's the truth about it.
Right now you can.
It's now modernized. I think they say Yahoo Boy is Yahoo Plus. It's now Plus.
Right
Human
now,
rights violation is more now.
You can constitute politically, you can gather, right? But the system might not be okay with what comes out of that gathering. That time you were not even allowed to gather for political reasons.
Somehow, but we kept but we can still say some certain things and nobody will come openly bring up this law, bring up this other one to make sure. Can you remember? Do you still remember the Oshiomhole of 1999 to 2003? Do you remember Oshiomhole?
The NLC.
The fear of Oshiomhole was the beginning of wisdom.
Yeah,
Obasanjo dreaded Oshiomhole.
He was a labor leader.
Do we have any other labor leader again today? Do you know what they did when they came? They said, "Oh, want to compartmentalize them. They destroyed NLC. They said they were about TUC, this one, that one, that. Just scatter the whole place. Just make sure the people can't talk anymore. Today now, government wakes up every day. They just increase anything, anyhow they like. They just are you listen to me? People are just quiet. People are just quiet. People are just dying in silence. I think it was fella that sang that song and said, how did he say that? What do you call it? Soldier or the mumu, as they push you
zombie.
Go zombie. Zombie. You just keep on. Come on, lie down. You lie down. That's what we are passing through that because
okay.
That's what we are actually passing through that. Oshiomhole was what even brought Oshiomhole to limelight. And after then, Oshiomhole even, I saw him on television supporting dictatorship, supporting injustice. I was like, this is how you climbed to the top.
Now,
if Oshiomhole comes out to say anything, it's gone.
Let's get on with the conversation, right?
It's okay.
So, a ruling of the Supreme Court is considered law.
Now you're coming. I thank you.
A ruling of the Supreme Court is considered law.
I think I'll bring you to my side after now. You will agree with me now.
So, if it is law and the government has refused
now you know
to adhere to that law,
what
are the implications of that?
Now, you see what we are talking about, your preamble, and you see that we are still coming back to what I was saying.
No, we're not coming back. I just asked a question.
Under the military obeyed laws. I'm telling you the truth, they obeyed laws. The judges were still able to say things. Now, you are talking about a Supreme Court judgment, which is, look at the name, Supreme, Almighty. As far as Nigeria is concerned, Supreme Court is the Almighty. In fact, after Supreme Court, you go and meet God. And me and you know how to meet God. Either you die in Christ or you die out of Christ. You go to hellfire or in heaven and then you go and see God. That's the only way. So Supreme Court has given a ruling and it's not obeyed. It's extremely unfortunate. What you have just done is you reduce the influence of the Supreme Court, the aura of Supreme Court. You reduce the power of the Supreme Court. You commonize the Supreme Court. Is it not recently that we started hearing people talking about judges, abusing judges on radio and television? When I was younger, we don't see judges. I've never seen one until I became a lawyer. That was the first time I saw judge. You don't see them. Where the opportunity? We see them on, even when I was in law school, we see them on pages of our law report. We hear their names. Except even conferences, when we go MBA conference, we don't see them. You don't. Where will you have opportunity to see a Court of Appeal judge, Supreme Court judge? We see them on news. When we read them, we feel them from our law reports. But today, everything is destroyed. How can the Supreme Court give judgment and government refuse? The same government. We're not talking about private individuals. So you now see what I'm talking about. That our democracy has gotten to more than dictatorship. That's the truth about it.
Now, if the government does not adhere to the ruling of the Supreme Court, which obviously is law, what framework is available for accountability? What did the Constitution or the system provide as the next step?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I don't know. Nothing. It's till you go to God.
No, but
you go swear to God.
It's like having a plan and a plan B. If I say, High King, do this, I'm
Supreme
supposed
Court.
to, in my mind, say, if he does not do it,
Supreme Court is the highest, is the supreme, is the almighty court in Nigeria.
Okay.
We can't go to Privy Council anymore.
let me ask the
Privy
question
Council is
differently.
gone.
What is the enforcement strategy of the Supreme Court?
Is to enforce it. And if the government themselves, who will assist you, assuming I get a judgment from the Supreme Court, I'll go back to the government, that's the judiciary. I go back to the deputy sheriff, I apply. The deputy sheriff gives me a writ of attachment and all that, police escort, and I do all the necessary fees, and we go and I do the attachment. So in this case, where the judgment is against the government and the government of the day, who will enforce? How will you enforce? That's the problem. So you can't enforce.
The ruling is on local government autonomy.
Okay.
Right? Money should be paid directly to local government.
Exactly.
This is exactly 1 year.
Exactly.
It's still not happening.
Exactly.
So who enforces?
Nobody. Who will enforce?
Then
The
there's a
Attorney General. Listen now. I don't know who will enforce. I'm also not. Who will enforce? I have just given you the analysis. If I have a judgment, I go to the court. The court is government. The deputy sheriff, and I follow the process, and I go to enforce. So in this case, who will enforce? Is it the Attorney General of the Federation? He has refused to enforce. Is he the president of Nigeria? Is he a party in that matter? He has refused to enforce. What about the local governments involved in that matter? Have they tried to enforce? You can see what we are talking about. It's worse under the civilian.
So do we need to amend the constitution?
Maybe if we amend the constitution to say, how do we see? You still need government to enforce, and this government and this ruling or judgment it's against them. Look, take these people's money, give them, channel it directly. Don't do what. Let me tell you, everything boils down to corruption. Somebody is benefiting. If nobody is benefiting, it would have been done. It's simply because somebody is benefiting. Otherwise, what's the hard thing about it? Hey, Attorney Generals of the gathered Attorney General of 36 states, hey, come all of you, come. Everybody, channel, send us your account number. When the time comes, it's just a button. You transfer money with buttons. You don't carry any money. Bang, bang, bang. Just press the button, and the whole money will go to the 36 states of the Federation. Why is it hard? It doesn't take. Even while standing here, I can transfer the whole money. If they give me the app and give me the money, I transfer it from the Federation account. Now, standing here, I will just transfer it. It doesn't take 10 minutes. I just pump. They will all move out to their respective states and all that. But they're not doing it. That's what I'm telling you. The impunity is extremely high. The military had a little bit discipline. I can tell you that. The military is a little bit disciplined. Then, if you watch them, after Abacha till today, we are still talking about Abacha loot. Tell me any other military governor that you are talking about his loot. None. It's just one man. For me, it was better. It's one man looted. But this time, everybody, Papa they loot, Mama they loot, the child, everybody is looting.
We have to take a break now.
Problem.
After the break, we talk some more. Please stay with us.
Stay with us. Nigeria in station. Nigeria Info.
Headline News, Nigeria Info on
Welcome back. It's Hard Facts, 92.3 Nigeria Info. Sam Oracle Chinedu. And we're talking about a Supreme Court ruling that is already 1 year old that mandated that the 774 local government areas must receive the allocations directly from the Federation account. However, as of today, it is still paid directly to states. And over 4.5 trillion naira has been channeled through states between July 2024 and June 2025. That's about a year. My guest is Barrister Hayaking. He is a Vice Chairman, MBA, with the Human Rights Committee right here in Port Harcourt. You're welcome once again, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, I'll get back to my guest shortly, but I'd like you to be a part of the conversation. If local governments had direct access to their funds, do you believe your community will be better developed? I've been speaking with my guest about why the executive has refused to adhere to the ruling of the judiciary. We'll talk shortly about where the legislature comes in place with oversight, checks and balances. But I'd like to know, do you believe that your community will be better developed if your local government area had direct access to its funds? 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp is 080 903 0416. If and when you call, please turn off your radio, and you'd have just a minute to express yourself. Judges appointed to serve at the Supreme Court are part of the problem of Nigeria. The government are now controlling the Supreme Court for me. I believe that the local government attorney was made for Sim Fubara since he was suspended. Every judgment rested. Jackson from Iba says, all right, good evening to you, Sam Oracle. No matter the qualms we are seeing under this democracy, for me, democracy is better than military. I know anything that gets to the pinnacle must come down. What goes up will come down with time. Things must change because change is inevitable or constant. I believe that. And that's from Ipalibo Taylor Harry. All right, my first call is from Lawson from Yenagoa. Good evening, Lawson.
Lawson, good evening. Greet your guest. But before I answer the question you are asking, I think your guest is exaggerating a little bit. Do you know that if it was in the time of Abacha, in that studio in which he is, he will not even make that statement. From that studio, he will land at Bori Camp. That's where he will land. What is he saying? That's the fact that my in-law, just a video that he made for the Ogoni people at the time, just a video, because he owned a studio at Rumola. He was beaten very well and taken to Bori Camp. Kept there for days. Newspapers were, in fact, our entire production ceased. All manner of people were in TMI. You see, what is he saying?
Okay, Lawson, you have just a few seconds left.
People stay outside and discuss.
Okay, your point has been taken, Lawson. Respond to the local government question so you don't use up all your time.
Fine, let me go there. You see, exactly what we see happening with the states is what is going to also happen with the local government. This is Nigeria.
Okay.
It is this thing which you find out that if the local government chairman gets the money directly, it doesn't mean that the local government areas will develop. It will not.
Okay. Thank you, Lawson. Lugaman calls from HA. Hello, Lugaman. Good evening.
Yeah, Oracle.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please go ahead.
I greet your guest.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, I totally concur with your guest. You see, the level of democracy we are playing today, I don't think that it's a good one. I still believe that military remains the best.
Military?
Because your guest, yes, now your guests have analyzed it. All the things we have today in this country are built by military. Since we have democracy, what have we achieved in this country? Rather, it is looting. Your guests have said it. Mama will be looting. Papa will be looting. Brother will be looting. Everybody will be looting. And nothing to account for. You ask us question. If we have money coming to our local government, whether will it get to my own community where I come from? I said yes. This past local government chairman that was dissolved by Supreme Court. My brother, this set of local government chairmen, had it been they were allowed to stay up to 3 years, my brother, at least there will be difference in our rural areas.
Okay. Thank you, Lugaman. I have to move on. But please, the question is, if local governments had direct access to their funds, do you believe your community will be better developed? That is the question. Daniel from Imogate. Go ahead, Daniel.
Good evening, Samarako Chinedu.
Good evening.
Daniel Imogate, Abia State. Yes. Here in Abia State, it's been better. I think during my passengers regime, I think we have local government autonomy that time. I can remember vividly what our local government chairman did. Yes. And just like the last caller said, my brother Samarako, let us tell ourselves the truth. Military administrators don't have a deputy. So on all this, you see they converge in the state, in the local government, personal assistant to this, the state assembly on this. This is why we are pretending. The only thing they will deny me is hearing my voice on air. But let's tell ourselves the truth. Military will be better than this particular, if there's another democratic process, or less. But this one now.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, we have a dysfunctional system that needs to be fixed. Gift calls from Okrika. All right, I've lost that call. Good evening, Sam. No matter the qualms we're seeing under this democracy, for me, democracy is better. Okay, that's Ipalibo. This government has killed every institution. They only obey court judgment that favors them. Ogu Justice says.
Exactly.
Greetings. Mention one government agency that is autonomous in the country. That's from Thank God Ability at Webu. I'll take maybe one more call and we wrap it up. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Evening, what's your name?
It's Shodili Fang calling from Doni in Anelga.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good evening to the guests, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So I observed that Nigeria is a nation that has quietly swapped impunity for the rule of law. I remember doing it last time. I remember doing Goodluck Jonathan's time. At least there was that fear of trying to respect the rule of law. Jonathan tried to follow in the footsteps of our principal, the late Yaradua. I really cherish that man's little time in office. If that man was alive, if that man would have been alive, oh God, Nigeria would have been transformed under that man. So we need people like that back in power. The rate of people who have, the grade of people, politicians who have in power now are kakistocrats. They do not have any regard for the rule of law. You can imagine local governments in a federation as big as this, 774, not allowed to adequate money that is even actually their right. You can imagine suspending a sitting governor, an elected official. These things would not have happened under Jonathan or Yaradua's tenure. Even if they had happened, the right to have resisted would have been there.
Okay.
But see now, which just like other callers said, the NLC is completely lobotomized. The agency that could have taken hold of the opposition and say, okay, no, this is supposed to be, Nobody is able to speak in Nigeria again. Everybody is silenced.
Okay,
Only God knows
so
what
very
has
quickly,
come
because
over.
we are very close to
God
the
help us.
end.
Thank you.
Okay, well, it's all good. The development of rural areas will be made easier if the local government councils are allowed to control the allocations. Fidelis Elemowa from Eche says, good evening, Sam and guest. The difference between Abacha and Tiku, I beg your pardon, and Tinubu. Abacha was military, and Tinubu is metamorphosing. Thanks, Ramoyibo. I get the message. Okay, we have 2 minutes left. Barrister King,
Yes.
the oversight functions of the legislature that should at least
Yeah,
follow up where the
exactly.
executive does not. Where are we on that, and what's the way forward? Very quickly, sir.
That's the problem we have. That's why when you ask that question of which way forward, initially I couldn't answer that question because the legislature, which ought to have been a check on the executive that will say, oh no, this judgment has been passed and let us implement. They are working together. When the three arms of government is working together, there's a problem. There won't be opposition. That's what is happening. So that is actually the big challenge. So to implement this decision, actually, when that judgment came last year, I upheld it. I celebrated. I was here. I was in several stations, and we are so happy. Now, if that money is channeled to the local government, there will be more development because the local government chairman will now have more money. He will do something that we are going to be seeing. Unlike when you give it to the governor now, you give 1 billion, for instance. People don't understand what it means about this local government money because they are looking at it as if you're just giving them money. Look at what it is. It's about corruption. If 1 billion comes to local government, for instance, in a month, the governor takes away 500 million. Gives the governor 500 million. The governor now takes care of recurrent expenditure, which is salaries.
Yeah.
I'm not particular any state, but this is how they do. That is why you see them giving to government. No, why won't you give me my money? They will now pay salaries, maybe 300 million, share the other one. The local government chairman will not be able to do any project. But if you give them this money, I think their conscience, even we, the people who hold them accountable to do something, they will do something. So give them their money.
Yes. At a time. Well, thank you very much for making the time, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I guess we are at the mercy of hope.
Yeah, hope. Just hope. Just hope. Believe
Okay. A program comes up now, and the news comes up at 6. Stay with us.